I don't know what it's called. My headset microphone. So it's not going to be as crisp or nice. I hope you don't mind. And if you hear a windstorm, that's why. It's because I have a headset mic. Usually I have like the big XLR. Also, it's just like I've been sitting in front of the XLR for the video. It's kind of nice to try a stream without a headphone and a microphone in front of me. So I'll go ahead and look at chat a bit before I jump into the first part of the stream. Why is the Bomby plush's little nub at the top green? Nub? I don't know what you mean by nub, but I think I do. So let me see. Someone posted a picture in my Discord. Let me go grab it. If you ordered a plush, apparently like they're shipping now. They were supposed to ship by the 5th, which is about like a little under a week from now, but a lot of people have been getting them recently. I got 7 of them in the mail the other day just because I ordered extras to give away later. More on that in the future. I don't have anything planned right now. But I do have some cursed information to share about it. I can't find a photo of the thing in question. So this might take a minute. I mean, I could just turn my webcam on, I guess. So for context, I ran a plush last video, and they shipped out, and people finally got them. Now, I've had a production model for a few months. I've had it since before, like, you could even order it. I looked at it, and I said, like, all right, that's completely on model. I don't see a single thing, like, off or weird. And then people started getting them in the mail. I started sending bombs to people, and somebody put up a photo, and they pulled the hat off of it and said, Bald Bomby. But what they didn't point out, and I noticed, is there was a weird tail nub on the back of his head that was green. It looked like a ponytail, but it was his skin. I never looked under the hat of my production model because I just assumed it was a hat. And so I went to my plush. I'm gonna have to webcam. I'm very camera shy, but it'll make more sense this way. 1 second. If you have one, you can check yours, and what I'm about to show you, you will see. I'm really stalling for time here. I don't have my webcam plugged in either. I'm currently spinning my USB and it won't go in the slot. Three spins. The third one worked. Okay, so the plush. I sent it out and somebody showed me something on it. It's a normal plush, right? You see it? Got the head. Totally on model, right? You wouldn't suspect a thing. I don't know where the fuck it came from. the entire thing, it has like a chow head. And that wasn't on the concept I drew them. I drew them and I'm like, it's just a hat and then a spear on top. And then they I guess it's like to fill out the hat, right? But they didn't tell me that they were going to do it by extending the head out. So I don't, that's just everyone has that. If you have a plush and you look, it has a tailbone. And it reminds me of like a Chow from Sonic Adventure. It reminds me of the head of a Chow, but on the back of it. So people have been asking me if that's canon. Technically, there is a Bald Bomby in the last video. And you do get to see the back of its head. I won't spoil it, but yeah, it's not there. But I like to think maybe this is maybe it's sort of retractable. Maybe it's a ponytail. Maybe uh, he's got like Bart Simpson hair, and it's just the color of his head. And maybe it's just AU. Maybe it's just a different universe. But yeah, I thought that was funny. The plush is still. I wouldn't change a thing, honestly. I wouldn't even get rid of that because I find it funny, and that's not just me saying I didn't catch it. Either way, thank you again to anyone who got one. If you ordered it, it should be there by next week. Thank you. I see a bunch of subs flying by. Haven't caught all of them, but I will read the messages that are attached to them. Thank you, Biome. Yeah, I relate to that. My parents, like my dad listened to AC/DC and my mom listens to like country. So it took a while for me to find my own taste in music because I didn't really jump onto theirs. Yeah, so what I have planned, I don't have a lot. I I'll talk a little bit about the video. I don't want to make this whole stream about me. I just like talking to people. But I just released something. And like I have a couple thoughts. So one, I'm never want to do that much goddamn work again. I probably have the most man hours on this video. That's not to say it's insane by any means, but I don't know, like 120 hours in SFM. I didn't count the hours. A few days editing, like all the B-roll and stuff. I was really happy with it. It's like probably one of the most proud videos. I admit I tried to put extra elbow grease just because it's not gaming, and I really wanted like the concept, unintended, to kind of reach people, because I know some people see it in their feed and they're like, that's not video games. So I noticed a lot of people in the comments. I think like 1 in every 8 comments is, great video, I don't know what the fuck you just said. I was lost the whole time. I don't know how I feel about that. When I read that, I think I was just moving it too high of a gear. I tend to cut more than I leave excess, and sometimes that ends up giving people kind of whiplash because I'm just jumping between things so fast. I'm not an aficionado in music. I don't know a lot. I tried to learn about it, and I tried to make sense of it, but if it felt like I didn't maybe transcribe or slow down enough, my apologies. I'm still proud of the video, but yeah, I'm trying to just think about the best way to explain it. When I made the video, in my head, I'm thinking, all right, all these albums are about a central theme. I'm just going to spitfire them because I don't want to get stuck in the weeds of like, this album came out in 1982 and it was a hit sensation. I just wanted to I like this album. Here's my favorite part of it, and then I move on. But sometimes people can kind of be like, wait, I was catching up. So yeah, I know it's a little ADHD. My videos always tend to be. So this one I did not commission any animation. It's all mine. I will, with a couple exceptions. There's one background gag. I think this is my favorite background gag. It's the shelf of running jokes, and it's just a bunch of models doing run animations. I didn't make the run animations. I just grabbed them off the workshop. The credits are at the end of the video for those, but I didn't animate those run cycles. The rest of it's me, and I want to start commissioning people for future videos, like collaborating on the animation segments, I should say. Do you do animations for money yourself? Oh, do you mean, do I take commission? I've never done it before. I don't consider myself a professional animator. Even calling myself animator, in some way, like, I enjoy it. I love it, but in some ways it's a means of an ends to me. I do it because I think it makes the videos better, but I don't do commissions, no. Maybe in the future. Yeah. So I'll try to, if you have questions or anything, or you just want to, recommend concept albums, I'm always looking at my chat, so I welcome that. But just while I'm here, I did have a couple of things in mind I might as well talk about. I'm not gonna break down the whole video. If you want to see it, you can go see it. But there's a couple jokes I feel like nobody's caught. Nobody's gone in the comments and said I got it. So I want to address a few things. There are multiple references to songs from the Black Hole. I didn't count, but the space rock opera joke at the start, that one's pretty on the nose. The more subtle one, because I was talking so fucking fast. I gotta remember what the script said. I don't know how to explain the main character is giving birth in low gravity, but that's a problem for Pitchfork and NASA to collaborate on. The joke there is the main character Jonas in Songs from the Black Hole, he gets one of his crewmates pregnant, one of the girls there, and she gives birth in space on a rocket ship. I did some research, and scientifically, it's not like disproven, but there are a lot of complications to low gravity birth, and it's not clear how well it would go. Because your bone density is lower in space, if a baby forms in there, it's probably not going to be as strong. Nutrients, lower bone density. Just the way birth works in low gravity. No one knows what would happen. That was a little joke about how did they give birth in Songs from the Black Hole. It's a very niche fringe joke, but I was proud of it. I have to pull my Google Doc open because I have bullet points. There's not that many. There's like 2. The name of the space rock opera joke.
Love the latest video.
Thanks. I forgot his name. Paul Hogan. Thanks, Paul Hogan. So the joke at the beginning where I said the name of my space rock opera is Mobius Strip Poker of the Parallax Donkeys. That's 3 Ozma references at once, technically. In the song Girlfriend, You're the One by Ozma, there's a lyric that says, you send me through the Mobius strip with kisses just like acid trips when I'm stuck in the midst of a parallax strip. Send me through the loop and back again to love. Parallax strip and... Mobius strip and parallax are 2 words from Ozma. Also, donkey is from Double Donkey Disc. Not every line in the video is a reference, but they're packed pretty thin. I'm not going to explain all of them. That's just one. My last bullet point I have here is the song at the beginning of the video. I heard that in the same dream I described later in the video, in real life. So in real life, not in Source Filmmaker life, I had a dream where I was on a lawnmower pirate ship on a sea that looked like a lawn. And in that dream, I sailed up to a speaker on a fence, and there was this muffled song that just went... I remembered that when I woke up, and I wrote down the melody. Well, I used a voice recorder app. I turned that into the song at the beginning of the video. That technically I came up with the instrumental and lyrics, but that song came from that dream. In a way, it was inspired by it, I guess. I didn't know how to write that into the script, though. I'm like, no one's gonna understand what the hell I'm talking about if I try to explain that. But yeah, that's another fun fact about it. That's all I have about BTS and stuff. Although here are a couple funny photos. While I was just posing Bommy when I'm doing the keyframes, occasionally SFM fucks up. And the poses I just find really funny. So I have 3 where I was doing the keyboard section, and for some reason it looked really badass. These weren't the poses I was going for, they were in-betweens. But they just ended up going really hard for some reason. JoJo poses. I thought those were funny, so I just took photos of them while I was making it. A little fun fact for anyone that remembers my last video about VR and the green wall I painted, you can't really see it, but in this shot, the back wall is the same green wall from that video. You can even see the trash can and broom, but it's so dark, it doesn't totally show up. And last thing I'll show is just everything on this shelf during like the Wii CD throw part. Those are just a bunch of references to my old videos. There's Cthulhu, Junji Ito, Legion, the bread from Yakuza, and I just thought it was a funny, cute little callback. The last thing I can think about is some of the albums I didn't mention that people were like recommending. I changed the VR video's thumbnail. Yeah, so I I might have it on hand. This was the old thumbnail. Really grainy, I know. That was intentional. It looks better at small. I didn't like how it kind of has the same pose as the games I'd make thumbnail, which is like a balmy, bent over, holding a thing out. I thought it just looked like my other thumbnails a lot. Plus, in the VR video, it's mostly just headshots. It's not full body animation. So I changed it. It's really big. I changed it to that. It was just preference. In the thumbnail for the newest one, the reason was because when I was making the thumbnail for the newest one, I accidentally came up with another pose of Bommy crouched over. And I looked at all of my thumbnails, and it's like the character has a hunchback in every single one. So I changed that one to be this, where he's just sitting out. And then I changed the VR one, so there's no more hunchback. That's why. Why was your outro all the previous videos felt like an ending to your channel? I thought it was just a fun kind of culmination of the videos I've made up till now, because I finished this video and I felt like, like this is nothing like what I was making when I started. And because I wanted to like play actual kind of guitar at the end. I thought it'd be cute. And I had a little space, so I thought, oh, what if I played the You Won't Get With Me Tonight little melody, and then I flashed the intros. I thought it would be very like adorable. I thought it would be an adorable little end to it. So that's why. It's not like me putting a bow on my channel and saying I'm done. It's some people were asking if it's like a new era. I don't look at it that way. I just thought, I like this video. I'm proud of it. I'm gonna kind of I don't know, have a cute little throwback at the end. That was it. So I'm gonna talk pretty quickly. If you have a question now and I miss it, you can repost it afterwards. But people were recommending albums that like I didn't talk about. I didn't talk quite as much about the more fluid or like super complex concept albums. I like them, but I wanted it to be pretty digestible, however much that worked out. But a couple of concept albums I didn't talk about: Hawaii Part 2 and Good and Evil by Tally Hall. So Tally Hall made Marvin's Martyrdom, and Good and Evil is a bit more of a concept album because it's about good things and bad things, good and strong and wet and dry and live and die and give and take. It's a great album. I just didn't think about it, to be honest. Hawaii Part 2 I love, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't totally get it until people were commenting it, and I went back and listened again, and it clicked with me when I listened, like yesterday. In hindsight, I should have talked about Hawaii Part 2. So when I make Concept Albums Part 2, I'm sure I'll mention it. But yeah, Joe Hawley, I believe, went on to make Miracle Musical, who made Hawaii Part 2, along with a bunch of other members. Not all of them,
The one concept album I
them.
recommend is None of This Is Real by DJ Roswell. Weirdo and Druggy album.
I do not know those, but I'll look them up. So Hawaii Part 2, I don't someone's gonna have a better explanation than me. I think it's supposed to be um the way I thought of it, and it's probably wrong, is it's black foliage for theater majors. It's like, what if you dreamed? No, I don't think it's about dreams. I remember Joe saying that it was like he heard it in a dream, but it's supposed to be just some sort of psychedelic opera almost. It's a concept album. It's fucking weird, really catchy. If you like Tally Hall, 100% listen to this. Someone can explain it better than me, but I like it. No one meant. Oh, and you know what? While I'm on the subject, here is like, if you want to go down the iceberg of Tally Hall, this is just a picture somebody made for the re-release of Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum of all of the references inside the album to the album art. I know you can't really read it on my screen, on my stream, but basically, like, everything you see on the album art of MMMM, it's like referenced somewhere in the actual album. And some people wanted me to talk about Tally Hall more, and I think it would have been really fun because I love them. I just didn't know what angle to take, because the thing about Marvin's Marvel is, like, each song kind of details an attraction in the museum, but there's not like a story or deep lore. It's just sort of recurring cartoon characters, and I didn't know how to explain that, so I didn't. Another album, no one really mentioned this, but I want to mention it. Hazards of Love by the Decemberists. The Decemberists have a couple of concept albums that I really like. This is, I don't know how to describe it. It's just about, like, I don't know the story. It's a story one about love and like a queen and some dude that falls in love. It's like really dramatic. It's a really dramatic but cool concept album. I didn't realize this. Apparently, Twin Fantasy is a concept album. And like, Will Toledo has made every song about a breakup that he had. Same with Teens of Denial. Teens of Denial is about like teenage years, I guess. But yeah, Twin Fantasy is technically a concept album because it all connects to a central theme, which, as Moop Soup says, is the course of a relationship. I didn't even know that. I don't know if it would have hit my definition in the video, but I love this album. Oh, whoops. Not that. This is another concept album that I probably could have mentioned. I just didn't end up doing it. But Deltron 3030. I love Deltron. If you don't know Deltron 3030, but you know Gorillaz, Deltron 3030 was Del the Funky Rapper, who was the ghost that, like, was inside Russell, the drummer, for the first album. And he raps on Clint Eastwood and something else. But then he got exorcised and he never came back. But yeah, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. Anyways, he has his own album, a real one, which, fun fact, Damon Albarn actually has a song on this, and it sounds like a Gorillaz song. But this is in the year 3030. Deltron is, like, I don't know, this political activist that's like rapping his way through a corrupt system or something. I think I'm completely off base. I don't remember it. I love the album, and I'm sorry I can't explain it, but he was also in Craig of the Creek, funnily enough. He played a rapping kid on that show. Just a fun fact. Because the Internet is also a concept album, because it's all about the internet. I love Childish Gambino. He's got pretty good stand-up. I haven't watched Atlanta, but I really want to, just because I live near Atlanta. I loved him on Community. I just love his music, too. I don't know. Donald Glover's a really cool guy. He has a concept album. Just didn't end up on the video, but it easily could have. And I think that's all of, like, the concept albums that come to my mind. But as always, I welcome recommendations and stuff. Del was also on Rock the House. You're right. Another Gorillaz song. Chaos. I do remember that animation. It was about me calling Nintendo support because I was stuck in Tomb Raider, right? Which I was playing on the PS4. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, I like Tyler. I know Igor. I talked about albums I know well because I didn't want to misrepresent ones that I don't know well. I'd listen to Igor. Love Tyler. Love Flower Boy. Love Igor. But I couldn't. I could have like done my research, but I already had this script done, and I figured if I ever talk about it again, it doesn't hurt to have some stuff for the next one. Opinion on Genesis? No opinion. What are the cheesy blurred albums before Pet Sounds? Uh, well, the first those aren't albums; those are just backgrounds from videos. But the joke is that I'm walking past a room of black foliage and a room of Sergeant Pet. And then I throw the coin in. It's just a meta joke. Uh, I said Sergeant Pet. Anything similar to Feed Me Jack. I do have a Spotify playlist. I'm sorry to like push my my own stuff, but I like helping people when they want to know. Uh, I can't find your name in chat to respond, but if you want to know bands like Feed Me Jack, this is a Spotify playlist of bands that I think kind of sound like FMJ Core, which just means like it sounds kind of like Feed Me Jack or in line. My recommendations are Jero, uh, indie jazz band that my friend's in. Silmar is a bit more, I don't know, lobby jazz rock, very good. And the rest of the playlist is random songs, and you can probably spiderweb your way through that. Like look at the artist names and listen to their discography and make your own opinion. I would also recommend Orchards. They're way more math rocky and sort of power pop, but I think they have a lot of that energy of like Feed Me Jack when they're going hard on the guitar mid vocals. Orchards 100% has that. I think you would love them. In general, I just look for indie jazz rock bands. Oh, and yeah, you know what? I don't know why I didn't mention it. Bobbing? Bobbing was in Feed Me Jack. Robert Ross. His real name is Bob Ross. He's not Bob Ross, but he still makes music. It's totally in line with Feed Me Jack. Cannot recommend it enough. Can I upload the outro song? That's the whole thing. The whole outro song is just that 40-second little melody. I don't have any plans to. Never say never, but that was um I just that is the Good Life solo, but I kind of improved on it. Like I kind of inverted the solo so it's a bit more upbeat. I don't consider myself like a shredder or a big instrumentalist, but I did what I could to kind of make it a cute ending. But I don't think I'm going to make a full one. Yeah, I know someone had made a funk music channel. I don't put out full songs, so most of it's 20-second clips, but I'm fine with it because they're pretty upfront that it's unofficial. Where do I think the future of my channel lies? I don't have any plans to change. I want to keep making fun animated videos, and I want to make kind of the economically viable. Feels like a weird word, but the producible videos that don't take me 3 months to make. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I like making the funk studies, and I like making the avant-garde stuff. I promise that I'm going to like. I know this script specifically was super ADHD and weird. Part of that was intentional because I thought it's concept albums. No one fucking understands concept albums, so the video should be a little confusing too. It was definitely intentional. Uh, I don't plan to do that for every video. In the future, when I do another thing like this, it's going to be a bit slower and a bit more on one subject. But yeah, no big changes for the channel. Just more of the same, really. I like to learn a few things with every video I make. I'm not going all out in blood, sweat, and tears. You know, I'm not spending 12 months working on a movie. But every time I make a video, I try to learn one little thing. And I add it to my repertoire of skills. So for this video, was the first time I consistently animated on 2s and 3s. A lot of my videos, I do the keyframing, and then I add the in-between frames around it until it looks good. I eyeball it, essentially. But on this one, I render my animations at 24 FPS. So on 2s and 3s, just essentially means a new frame every 2 frames. So frame, repeat frame, new frame. If you can visualize that at all. So I think it made the animation look a bit more industrial, but in a good sense. It looked a bit more professional, not as blocky. I did that this video, which I haven't done before. I really like the results. So I'll probably keep doing that. I think that's something I learned making this video. But I learned a lot, because I did a lot of kind of weird things with it. I remember you said this video was closer to FUNKe TV than a FUNKe study. Do I mean that by the topic is how it's presented? I just meant the format of my character standing in front of a green screen talking about a thing with sort of recurring jokes. To me, that's the closest thing to like TV show format of like, oh, you're going for something here. I don't know what it is, but you're going for something. I consider this video a FUNKe TV, not by name. Maybe it's not as marketable to call things a name. Maybe I'm still waiting to really have an episode of FUNKe TV, but I consider this in line with it. I've been staring at the Tally Hall album art. The clock. I don't know where I put the photo, but the ruler of everything is time. In this photo, it's a mechanical hand because you understand mechanical hands are the ruler of everything. But the actual song, Ruler of Everything, is about time. Because a mechanical hand on a clock represents time. That's what it means. I've had a lot of people recommend, and I appreciate it, Radical Dude, Everywhere at the End of Time. I looked it up, and the second result was Everywhere at the End of Time FUNKe. So apparently there's a FUNKe disco version out there somewhere. This is EATEOT. I know of this album. I did some research. So it was made by like a 14-year-old apparently for his grandma who was going through dementia. And it's supposed to sort of represent the corrupted mind as it's sort of losing memories, and it sort of has these half melodic, half literally demented songs. It's really cool. It's not a 14-year-old. I've probably just read a YouTube comment, so citation needed. I just know it's a cool dementia album. Let's just leave it at that. I almost mentioned it during the Black Foliage part, because Black Foliage is about the mind and dreams and stuff. And initially I pushed a comparison between the two. No, that's a myth. It was made by a former dementia patient. I'll take that. I believe that more than what I said. I was just talking out loud. But I almost mentioned the album, but I felt like it would undersell both of them by drawing comparisons. I thought, I can't talk about Black Foliage and then bring up Everywhere at the End of Time, because that's not fair to Black Foliage, and that's not fair to Everywhere. I didn't mention it in the script more happenstancely. I think I easily could have. But, yeah, it's cool. I just don't I didn't look too far into it. It got cut pretty early in the script. The person who made Etiot was born in 1974. That makes sense. How do you know your experience of consciousness is the same as other people's? It's not. It's objectively not. People see color differently. People smell differently. People think differently. Consciousness is just the culmination of everything that makes you, that defines you, and we all define ourselves through different experiences. So it's not. That is a philosophical, the zombie dilemma. There's a word for it. The philosophical idea that everyone but you is not like really conscious. They're just kind of acting that way. Like, you know, your solipsism, I believe is the word. It's where everyone is, and I hate to use this word, just really convincing NPCs, where it's like, I'm the only real thing, and I'm just sort of externalizing these other people, or, you know, I'm in a empty fishbowl or something. Something, like, there's a lot of different interpretations. I don't believe that. For me, I think everybody is, I think our existence is a novel and by chance, for me. So I think we're all pretty equal footing. I think we're all equally capable of being conscious and thinking and logic and all that. But solipsism is, yeah, a form of what if no one else is conscious, or what if everyone has a different form of consciousness than me. But it's a very real thought, idea. It's a real idea. Valtroid's just still going through school stuff. I don't want to talk about my friends because they're not content creators. I don't want to flaunt their lives or anything, but still talk to her now and then. Sounds like a superiority complex. Yeah, it kind of interlaps with solipsism in a way, if you believe it. Solipsism, you can think about it in theory and be like, is it real? No. Some people actually do think, like, I'm the most important thing. I'm Jesus Christ. But it's not, like, a lot of times that's a result of mental health stuff, psychosis, delusions, and sometimes it is just a complex. Some people just think they're important. More important than other people. I think everybody is important in some inherent way, but to think that other people are less important than you is, I think, superficial. I do know Jack Stauber. I love Jack Stauber's stuff. I don't know if that overlaps with concept albums or if you're just recommending Jack, but yeah, I do know him. Or I do know their music. Which Weezer member do you think is more virginal? I don't even think that's a word. I think you just made that up. I don't know. They're all in their 50s, and I think they're all married too, so probably none of them. I'll tell you who has like the biggest balls of the group, Matt Sharp, who's no longer in Weezer. Motherfucker walked away after Pinkerton. He was on to something. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to mention, or if I'm kind of done with the talking about the video. I mean, I guess I could show this. So, Nonagon Infinity is a real game. I couldn't really show it because I couldn't play it. But I just like... I played this before. I played it when it came out. It was an itch.io demo, but I guess they made it private, and you can't play it now. But this is the game. This is level 1. Later, robot, stop! I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, obviously. But this is level 2. Like Wolfenstein. Killing big fig wasps. Literally. This is the best song on Nonagon, by the way. In my home. And then level 3, which is a Zelda dungeon. Zelda 1 dungeon. And this is Gamma Knife. Gamma Knife. It stops at level 3, and then it just rolls credits. And it plays a great song in the credits too, by the way. God is Calling Me Home by King Gizzard. Different album. But yeah, that's the game. I didn't really show it because I thought it would be... I had more to talk about, but yeah. If that ever comes out, if they ever finish it, I will absolutely talk more about it. Is Songs from the Black Hole a concept album? Yeah. Well, it was intended to be. It was never made. I don't even think Songs from the Black Hole might have... that might have not even been a final name. That was just like the work in progress before it got scrapped. So before Pinkerton, Weezer, Rivers Cuomo was going to Harvard, and he was writing a... It was intended to go like a stage play, like a space rock opera, literally. He was a big weeb for Madame Butterfly, which is like an opera, a literal opera, and he wanted to make his own. So he started writing Songs from the Black Hole, which is like Weezer, but there's a narrative throughout the album. It was about this dude named Jonas, who was kind of tired of, I think he was a rock star, or he was some famous figure, and he was tired of it. So he elects to go... Oh, actually, I don't know if that's true. I know that he goes to this space academy, and he goes on this voyage to another planet, and he's stuck on a rocket with like 4 other people for a year. And the whole album is about him just being depressed and, you know, wanting to find love and being tired of everything. And by the end of the album, he has a child. He has to, like, decide to marry this woman or leave to be with someone else. The album was never finished. It got scrapped and then turned into Pinkerton. And Tired of Sex came from Songs from the Black Hole. Get You came from Songs from the Black Hole. A lot of the B-sides are, like You Won't Get With Me Tonight. A lot of Pinkerton is just sort of the salvages, essentially. I'm told the first 4 tracks off Pinkerton, which sounds believable to me. But yeah, that was a concept album, but it never existed, so yes and no. I do listen to Lemon Demon. I know a lot of, like, the internet musician creators. Or I know their stuff. Didn't I stream this? Maybe? It must have. I'm surprised you remember. If I played Nonagon game, it's been a long time. I definitely have mentioned it like 2 or 3 years ago. Gigafruit, I think looking back, Weezer has a... Pinkerton has a lot of Asian fetishization in it that isn't healthy. I think listening to it, it's funny. Especially, like, when you're a teenager and you're, like, obsessed with girls. I get where it came from. But I don't think it totally holds up. Across the Sea is a real... I don't want to use the word problematic. But, yeah, there's a lot of gross parts of Pinkerton. But I think that's why it's cool. It was gross, but in sort of a understandable way. Or maybe not understandable, but comprehensible. It's like, okay, he was this famous rock star, and he was getting mail from a fan in Japan, and he romanticized it. He got infatuated with some fan mail. And this is before the internet. This is before the whole concept of parasociality really, like, came into public knowledge. So I think looking back, like, it still passes. Like, I think I still love the song. But yeah, it's really weird. Your City Gave Me Asthma by Wilbur Soot is an album about London struggles with pollution and its non-caring inhabitants. Yeah, I mean, that's a concept. That's a theme. And if that's an album centered around it, then yeah, it is. I didn't talk about it in the video, but I think the definition of concept album isn't a hard thing. It's a spectrum of more or less concept. There's maybe a line where you can say this is a concept and this isn't, but for the most part, there are albums that have themes and narratives and parts that are a concept album, but then part of the album can be completely non sequitur and disconnected. So yeah, if it has any sort of recurring thing, it fits to me. If you could revive any historical figure and take them on a date, who would it be? I know I. It's a theoretical. I don't know. Nobody. Bite's also a concept album. Uh, it has things in it, but I wouldn't call it that. No. Everything will be all right in the end. It's like that's it. Everything will be all right. That's more of a mantra than it is a theme. The thing I know I'm stuck on these comments, but you guys know me by now. The thing I appreciate about Pinkerton is that Rivers never actually blames anyone for his problems and never comes to the wrong conclusion. It's an album that isn't afraid to talk about the weird, dark, obsessive parts of sexuality, and it never validates those impulses. The fetishization of Asian women is probably the only part I find objectionable on any level. Everything else I call uncomfortable at worst. Yeah, Uh, I think there are immature takeaways from Pinkerton. I think it's a very not incel because he was definitely getting laid, but uh, spoiled. They're definitely sort of a spoiled. Oh, boo-hoo! The rock star is having too much sex. But I do agree. He's not blaming other people. He's not blaming women for not loving him. He's yelling at the universe for not having his path cross true love, which it's still a bad perspective, but it's not a toxic one. It's a very raw, human, visceral one. Because I think most people experience that in some way, where it's like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Like, why am I still stuck in this loop of like unfulfillment? I think it's very valid to yell at the universe for that. The first Glass Beach album. I know Glass Beach, but I haven't wrapped my head around what their concepts are. So, don't know much. There's a script to Everything Will Be Alright in the end. Is this real? Is this like Flashbang? Big fast chuckle nuts! A script to Everything Will Be Alright in the end. The Wasteland. Wait, there's an actual description of like the instrumental songs and stuff? Huh. Well, I'll be fucking damned. You just sent me some gold today. Apparently Eobite had a script. I don't know if that was a production thing that got dropped or if that still lines up with the album itself. Either way, damn, that's cool. All I know about Eobite is oh goodness, what's his name? Ozma. Um I love him. Daniel Brumel. Daniel Brumel is from Ozma. He worked on Eulogy for a Rock Band. He helped make a part of Eobite. A few parts, I think. And one of my favorite musicians. So I was just happy about that, even though we went uncredited. But yeah, Daniel Brumel helped write every Eulogy for a Rock Band, which is pretty fitting, honestly, because it's a song about saying goodbye to like a band you look up to, and Ozma's like the ultimate Weezer fanboy band. It was just very poetic, I think. Thanks, Mike Zer. Should you do research before listening to an album? No. I think a good album will make you want to do research after you listen to it. I don't think an album should force you to do research before listening to it. I think it shows good initiative if you want to research an album. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but I don't think an album should strive to make you do that. And I can't name an album that facilitated that for me, that I had to go research it before listening. Maybe Doug Walker's The Wall. Have I heard Long Season by Fishmans? That rings a bell. I might as well just plug it. If you watched the video and you were curious about the songs, but you didn't check the description, there is a playlist with every album referenced in the video, specifically my favorite songs from those albums. So if you want to know more about the songs I talk about in the video, or you just want to hear a specific one I mention, then you can reference the playlist and it should be in there. There is a Spotify one and a YouTube playlist, because I know some people don't use Spotify. Just because I'm streaming, it's been a while, so I'm playing a little catch up here. In case you're curious what I've been up to, I beat Catherine, which is a game made by, I think they're made by the creator of Persona, or the developers of Persona. And it's about this guy, Vincent, who, I won't spoil anything. It's a puzzle game where you have to pull blocks to climb up a thing. And there's a story about Vincent interacting with certain females in his life. Ones he knows well and one that he's getting to know well. I liked it. I was playing it because someone I know wanted to see me play it. And I had a lot of fun. Horny game? Yeah, it's kind of a horny game. But I just don't want anyone to think I'm just playing Catherine alone with myself. It's all right. That was one of the games I was playing while I was working on it. Atlas has Atlas. That's the name of the developer. Oh yeah, Overwatch 2 came out. I've been playing. I got into the beta, not the initial one, but I watched Salty Fish for 4 hours and then got in. So I've been playing that in between streams too. It's actually, I mean, if that was the game I was playing 4 years ago, I probably wouldn't talk so much shit about Overwatch. And I don't even want to. I don't have fun talking trash about stuff as much. I'll say I liked Overwatch too. It was fun. Winston Overwatch now has a right click. It feels odd being able to mid-range as Winston, but it's really nice. Doomfist is now a tank. Luckily I know how to play Doomfist, but that's still really weird, and I don't like that the meta is now playing DPS tank. Like, Doomfist just makes, like, D.Va and Zarya and Reinhardt just way less, like, useful. Because, like, I can just be a DPS. Why would I play anything else? I hope they fix that. Thoughts on the Orisa changes? I'm really interested. So, Orisa, they got rid of her shield. They got rid of her pole orb. They gave her a javelin that she can knock people back. And her ultimate, it just does an AoE slam. But what's interesting is, I don't remember, like, they replaced her shield with this little javelin spin, and it just deletes projectiles for a moment and makes her run faster. Basically, they're making Orisa more knockback and brawly. So she's not getting kills, but she's got a really fun paintball gun for her shots. Her weapon's the same, but like they kind of updated the feel of it and the particles. And she can move a bit faster, and instead of pulling people, she knocks them back if you land a javelin. I really like it. Oh, objectively way more fun, objectively way less annoying to fight. Uh, if I have one thing to say, I don't understand why they haven't buffed Zenyatta. Zenyatta is exactly the same as Overwatch 1, so he is exactly useless because he just orbs and then gets one shot. Especially when you don't have shields now, because there's not a great reason to run shield, from my perspective, which is none. But there's always an open shot on your back line. Because it's more of a flanky game, which is what I like. That's what I like about Paladins. That's what I like about TF2. You don't have to play damage clump. You can actually play the flank a bit more. The Overwatch 2 maps are much better than the Overwatch 1 ones. Tug of War, I'm having fun with it. Yeah, Overwatch 2 is a good direction for the game. I still think it's up in the air on if they actively update it well, or if they're just going to release it, get money off PvE, and then go back to doing skins. I don't think they will, but I do think I'm due in for another movement shooters video. I don't know if I'm going to make this a separate video or like a movement shooters 4, God forbid. But I do have some opinions on a general update. I don't know how to, I haven't put it in words. And I've talked about it before. I think class games should focus more on making new maps than they do new characters. Because when you make a new map, everyone gets something out of it. But when you make a new character, long term, only a few people really get a fun boost from that. And my problem with Overwatch 1 was they never add maps. 3 years passed and they didn't add maps. Paladins, one of my biggest problems with it. It's a fun game. They make a new character like every 2 months, but there's no fucking maps. They haven't made a map in fucking 4 years. And TF2, I know TF2 is a weird example, but that game has fucking 200 maps. And whatever you want to say about the state of TF2, I know that I can boot up and have a fresh experience, a different experience. The quality of the match might stutter, but I know that like I'm playing the game in a different way because there's so many maps. I like that. So yeah, that might end up in my movement shooters video. I might make that its own thing depending on how much of an opinion I have. But yeah, so far my favorite part of Overwatch 2 is that there are more maps. That's like literally it. I don't have to play 2CP. Tug of War is kind of like 5CP in a way. Not exactly, but it's way more of a literal tug of war. I wouldn't even compare it to Payload Race because that's a whole different thing. But 5CP was the closest to like a perfected game mode in TF2. It wasn't perfect, but it was the best option I found. I still, I feel like a broken record here, but I always liked maps like Gravel Pit, where it's like there's multiple points you can push. I like Stand-In. I think Stand-In is an underrated TF2 map. I wish there were more Stand-In-like maps where it's like there's multiple you have to get. Steel, we don't talk about Steel. It would be cool if Overwatch did something like that, where it's like there's 2 points and you gotta cap them. I'm not going to compare it to MOBAs, but I like the you have multiple routes to push into enemy territory. I think that is a really strong design for a team-based game. So maybe in the future they do something like that with Overwatch 2. Probably not, but I like Tug of War. That's what I have to say. I don't, like, I'm feeling out tonight's stream. I don't even know if I'm going to play games or just kind of talk till 10, but you know, if I end up playing Overwatch 2, I'll talk more about it. Right now, I'm just kind of catching up with chat because I haven't streamed in a while. Oh, you're getting a turntable? Hell yeah, Days. Yeah, Black Foliage. When I was writing the video, I knew I wanted to end it on Black Foliage because I just love that album so much. And I thought, like, people got to know about it. I've wanted to make a video about Black Foliage for like a few years now. I thought about doing a full funk study on it, but I decided like this would be a way more avant-garde fun way to talk about it. And you know, in the future I might even go more in depth, but for now I'm just glad to hear that. My brother has a turntable. I don't have mine. Whenever I get vinyls, I just give them to him. I've given him a Blue album, a Everybody Needs Salvation, which is just a fan club single, White Album, Pacific Daydream. I didn't get the Black Album vinyl. I guess they're making more albums, but I haven't been getting their stuff. Pretty much all Weezer albums, honestly. I think I might have gotten him something else, but I don't remember what. Have I played the predecessor beta? Yeah, I talked about it in my MOBA video. I don't. Well, wait, no, predecessor. I'm thinking of the other game. It's been so long. I'm sorry. They're based off of another MOBA, right? Predecessor and Fault. I haven't played predecessor. I have played Fault. I think I'm still waiting for access to that. I'm luckily enough kind of out of my MOBA addiction. I boot up Smite once every like 3 or 4 months just to play it once. But I don't really play MOBAs right now. That might just be because I'm being more productive. Not as productive as I could be, but I'm productive enough now, working on videos, practicing music, and just some relationships I'm forming. I'm just not playing MOBAs nearly as much. I do have my eye on predecessor, though, admittedly. I know Animal Collective, I like them, but I don't have deep opinions. I couldn't go in detail. Will I ever make another
FUNKe
song?
pills. Will you ever bite the bullet
Probably.
and talk about Fortnite and its potential?
I played Fortnite the other day because my friend needed to get footage. So I played Fortnite. We won, actually. We got a victory royale. It's the first time I played it since 2017. They removed building. It was actually kind of fun. I won't lie. I had a little fun. I wouldn't play it like on my own, but sorry, I'm a little scattered here. Will I make another song? Yeah, I'm always practicing music. I've found that if I dive into like, oh, I want to make a song and release it, what happens is I spend 2 weeks, I get really far into it, and then I give up, and then I shelf it, and then I go work on a video, and then I repeat the process. And then I get a video out, and then I practice music, and then 2 weeks later, I'm like, I'll work on it later. So yeah, I want to get better at music. I want to learn more about mixing. I want to meet people that I can play music with, and I want to get more practice under my belt. I don't want to release music just because I can. I want to like really produce an idea to fruition. I want to like come up with something and follow it to the end of my rainbow. My rainbow. It doesn't have to be a rainbow. I just want to be happy with it. So yeah, but right now my opinion on my view on music is it's one of my hobbies outside of gaming. It's brain food for me, and I like using it for little gags and videos. But I'm not getting too tunnel visioned on working on music because I think I know my pace. Which also, fun fact, this video, I didn't plan to have the piano playing like in the background. I was just going to talk about them. I was going to kind of do like a Yahtzee angle. Because, you know, like Yahtzee will talk about games and show no footage. Because it's just all jokes. I was like, I'll just talk about music, and if people are curious, they could listen to it. But I made it, and I thought, God, there's so much you have to infer on this script, and it's already running at a mile a minute. The least I can do is try to play a couple of simple jingles. I'm not experienced with the keyboard, but I tried to play like the fun parts of the songs so you would know what I'm talking about. Those were added like a day before the video was out. Like, I think a day before I had it rendered, I went back and added the little jingles and stuff. And I'm glad I did. I think it added a lot to the video's weight, I guess. Somebody commented that it sounds like Arthur, and that made me feel bad because it was supposed to be like an electric piano, you know, kind I'd hate to say it, but kind of like, you know, Feed Me Jack uses electric piano. Theirs is a bit more deep, but I was just I didn't want it to be too obstructive. I didn't want it to sing over the script. Anyways, Fortnite, I'm surprised it's still around. I don't have an opinion on it. I get why people like it. It was fun, but yeah, there are other games I'd rather be playing. That's just me. Opinion on bass in general. I have a bass. It's a really fun instrument. It's really, if you're like trying to just be a solo musician, or if you're, I don't know, it adds a lot of, I'd hate to say, sort of invisible complexity to a song. There are bass lines that take the center of the fucking stage for me. Like the bass on Until Then by Feed Me Jack. Uh, she's making a fool of you by Home Shake, one of my favorite kind of basses. I'm not like a big bass aficionado. I'm not well versed on like songs with it, but I love it. Uh, I really like, I don't know what it's called, sort of the that weird funk wah wah flangy bass. I don't know what the words for it is, but yeah, great instrument. Is it actually flank? Huh. Okay. I was ballparking just with inference, but yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I love flangy basses. I like the really hard distorted, like Tame Impala ones. I'm trying to think like the value of a bass just to instrumentalist's palette. What I've learned trying to like know the basics of bass and instruments in general is, for me, it's really deceptive where you want to play every instrument like it's the main instrument, and you end up having five of these really flashy melodies playing all at once, and it's a complete clusterfuck. And I think the beauty in bass is it will play a support role, but it can switch places. And I think there's a nuance to knowing how to play an instrument without overdoing it. And I think learning bass can help a lot with that. It can help a lot with you understanding how to not over compose. What are blues and how do I learn music theory? Blues is just a, I mean, it's a scale. It's a general type of music. It's a genre, essentially. Uh, I don't know specifically what the blues scale is. Isn't it like you your second turns into a third or some shit? The second note in the scale becomes the third. I couldn't explain it to you. I've tried learning like blues scales and stuff, and I sort of get it, but I have to like I don't memorize it. I always have to relearn it. Blues scale is a minor pentatonic with a B5 and a flat 5 and a flat 7. Oh, okay. I don't know how the fuck I would explain that to someone, but I know what you mean. Yeah, blues is just a different scale. It's probably the simplest way to put it. There's a series of videos. Yeah, they did the promotional things, right? I know they did the promotional stuff, but I didn't realize it was like lore for Everything Will Be Alright. Alright, I'm done talking about Weezer. I've already, like, I've punched my Weezer card like 6 times this stream. Spicy note. What do I think of Sophie? Is that a game? I don't know anything about it. I just scrolled up, so I don't know if they're still here, but thank you, Days. If I can provide something for anyone, even if that's just like you find a song in a playlist and that sticks with you, then I'm happy to have helped in any way. Uh, yeah. Oh, by the way, it's been like a good. You ever have one of those months where like the bands you listen to, like a bunch of albums come out in quick succession? I've had a really good month for that. Pup put out a new album, like a punk album, which goes really fucking hard. People are saying it's mid Pup. I disagree. I think The Unraveling of Pup the Band is a great album. Prince Daddy and the Hyena, self-titled, they just put out a new sort of punk. It's like weird pop punk, but I love Prince Daddy. I think their newest album, I like it more than Cosmic Thrill Seekers, because I'm cliche and I like it when when guitar go fuzz pedal. But there's also some fun little poppy drum beats on it too. Night Gnomes by Psychedelic Porn Crumpets. If you like King Gizzard, ignore that. If you like King Gizzard, listen to Night Gnomes by Psychedelic Porn Crumpets. You could listen to all of PC, frankly, but they have a new album and it's fucking great. And all of those came out in like the last month, I think. All been great. It didn't come out recently, but I've been listening to The Voids, which has Julian Casablancas, who is the singer in The Strokes. He has another band called The Voids, which is equally kind of like fun new age rock. I love Virtue by them. I've been listening to just random concept albums. Some of them like I by Bon Iver. Just Mars Volta, just random stuff I talk about in the video, really. Oh, I'm looking. I forgot Tales from the Topographic Oceans, which I think is a concept album by Yes. I meant to show that in the video. Totally forgot. But yeah, it's just been like a good month. I will say I'm so happy I'm done with this video because it's hard to listen to music when I'm talking about music and listening to myself talk about music all day for 2 weeks straight. It's hard to listen to music, but now that it's over, I'm like catching up on like these new albums and just stuff that I've waited to listen to. Sophie is a hyperpop PC music artist, trans icon, died last year in an accident. Oh, damn. I do not know of Sophie, but I'll look into it. I've been listening to metal more because someone made me a playlist with a lot of metal in it, and we've been listening to each other's music. So a lot of Korn, a lot of Disturbed and stuff. I listen to Disturbed. I know a little metal from back in the day, but I'm sort of chipping my tooth recently, trying to catch up. So I welcome recommendations. I know Hugby's friend of mine, another YouTuber, he sent me a couple of concept metal albums that I've been listening to. Deconstruction by Devin Townsend. Been listening to that. Periphery is a good metal band. Degent. Okay. Why new metal? Because I think Korn is a funny name. It's just the playlist I'm listening to, she really likes metal. Or she likes new metal. So I'm listening to new metal. Funk, what is metal? For me, it's everything on the rock metal punk area mixed but unclear. There's a lot of different metal. There's black metal, there's new metal, whatever the fuck Ghost is. Boomer metal. It's just I don't know how to describe it. It's like how do you describe any genre? There are forms of metal which are more melodic, which are way more harmonic. There are forms of metal which are way more percussive, where it's about like the drum beat and, bass and stuff. There's ones where it's more like noise rock. There's metal where it's sort of a lot of things, where it's metal 1 second and then it's smooth jazz and then it's folk and then it goes back to metal. Metal can be whatever you want it to be, but generally it's just loud. Yeah, I know Hugbees. I've been talking to him on and off now and then since like 2020, the end of 2020, I think. Yeah, I mean, I was on the official podcast. I think that's where I got to like I first met Hugbees was I went on the podcast. Yeah, no, I uh he's been recommending me some albums. Sode, SOAD. I know what Sode is, but I also don't know what Sode is.
Please put this
System
blobby
of a
background
Down. Yep.
animation on the wallpaper engine workshop.
I I don't know how. I mean, I'll take the chat off and you can turn it into one if you want. Actually, I could probably just put the video in my Discord and people can do that if they want. I used to use Wallpaper Engine, but it just lagged when I was playing games, so I turned it off. Yeah, do your homework, Days. Take care. Have you noticed a lot of animators are simultaneously really into music? I think it's just I think it's a natural inclination because animators are generally creatively inclined. They like learning how stuff is made. Creative stuff is made. Like I don't think they care how a house is made, but animators are familiar with technology, how entertainment is made, and music is just an auditory form of entertainment. If you want to get really abstract, the way music is created is in some way a parallel to how like animation's made. You know, you have anticipation and then you have payoff. A movement start and a movement has a cause and effect, right? If I swing my arm left in a punch, it's going to reach the left of my body. The same way, if music is starting to climb up, it's going to peak and it's either going to fall back down or it's going to stay steady. There's movement in music is probably the best way to put it. The best music, if understands the fundamentals of like scales. I mean, you can make. I don't like trying to be a scholar about it. Music has structure, the same way animation has structure. I like how that's how you describe it, Kerbike. Animation does have a rhythm to it, and hand in hand there. But yeah, for me, I figure like for me, I just I I like being a jack of all trades. When I work on music, I when I let me say it this way, when I listen to music, I kind of imagine a little animation in my head, a little music video. When I'm working on animation, I'm probably listening to music. So I think they exist in the same headspace and field in such a way it's just very approachable for an animator. But I don't think that's exclusive to animators. I just think if you're into something creative, it doesn't have to be animation. You could be woodworking. If you like knowing how stuff is made, you're likely to know how other stuff is made. Have I listened to Ween? Yeah, Ween's great. And not just for Ocean Man. I also like Quebec. 'Cause it's tried and true. Do I ever imagine Bommy in music videos? Yeah. Yeah, I'll admit it. When I listen to music, it's not that I would like want to make it with Bommy. I think it's because I'm familiar with animating Bommy. It's really the only character I tend to animate. So I tend to storyboard little music videos in my head with like the Bommy model. But if I think about it hard enough, I usually end up, coming up with a different character in my head and just imagining that. Even if it's just like some guy or like a blank figure. I've thought about making a video, like a shitpost video, where it's like top 10 music videos that only exist in my mind. I might put that up on FUNKe. That would be a good follow-up to this concept album video. And I don't show them on stream, on screen, I just describe them really thoroughly. Number 9, Until Then by Feed Me Jack. So I imagine these like shapeless blobs of color. I can, that's not a good one. My number 9, Promiscuity by Feed Me Jack. So the scene is a bunch of chimpanzees at a club and they're dancing, and one of the female monkeys is doing this really like energetic, sophisticated dance, and then you have this one monkey doing like monkey see, monkey do, see no hear evil, hear no evil. And then it's the story of this monkey who can't dance learning to dance, and by the end of it, he's got this whole jazz solo. Number 8. That's just an example of when I listen to music, I just imagine as much as I can.
I think a paint drawing every scene change would be cool.
Every scene change? In what? In what I'm talking about now, the Mind music videos, or just in general? I'll keep you updated. Just keep an eye on FUNKe. It's been a while since I've uploaded there anyways. Can I make a... No, I'm not going to do that. The PP. Opinion on games where music is part of the gameplay? I don't have a strong opinion. I know Noodle made a video on... What's it called? It's like... I have to look it up. It's like when music happens, like you walk... transitional music happens in a game. I'm gonna look at adaptive music. That's what it is. Yeah. When you're fucking low health in Pokemon and it starts going... Adaptive music is really cool. I know that's not what you're referring to, but I'd love when music intersects with game design in general. I'm not crazy about like Parappa or Guitar Hero or anything, but I get it. I'm not like, I don't play Friday Night Funkin', but it's cool. I try to have appreciation for everything, even if it's not my forte or my kind of game per se. A large vocabulary. I have a large vocabulary, but it's stuck in a dictionary and a locked dresser in my head. So like I have a big word, but I can't think of it, and I'm pulling on this dresser door until I give up and use a smaller word, and then a minute later it unlocks and I can pull out the dictionary and find the big word. I like using big words, but I forget them, is what I'm saying. It's not to sound cool, it's because I like using descriptive words. Have I played Abzu? I think I made a video on Abzu in like 2017 about walking simulators. Yeah, I played Abzu. That's the scuba diving game, right? Like the underwater one. It's fun. I don't know. I think my opinion might be a little different if I played it today. But that might just be because I've played more walking simulators, which are a bit more adaptive, to pull that word back. It's cool. Still beautiful. It's rare that you get like an underwater game that really sells the aesthetic and it doesn't feel weird to move around. But Abzu is a great example. Have I played Iron Lung? Yeah, I probably listen to Radiohead once a week. Iron Lung. Like a... No, I haven't. I thought about streaming it once. Yeah, this was made by Dusk. David Dusk. The guy who made Dusk made Iron Lung, which is just another... What is this? Psycho horror game? Where you're in a submarine. Right. No, I have not played it. It'd be good for my list, though, honestly. I like David Szymanski. Like his work. Is that a walking simulator? Is that why you're bringing it up? Well, sub simulator. I like how on Steam Similar to games you played, Subnautica and Outlast, because you're in a sub during it. Not a lot of footage to show, but yeah, I'll make note of that. Have I played Blood Hunt? That rings a bell. Wait, Blood Hunt, that BR game? That one vampire Blood Hunt? If that's what you mean, yeah. I have a group of buddies that still play it a lot, but I haven't played it in like 4 months. It was fun at the start, but BRs just still don't hook me. Hyperscape died, and I kind of gave up after that. I liked Realm Royale, and they killed it. I liked Hyperscape, they killed it. Apex is probably fun, but I don't play it. Do I play Halo Infinite? Not actively. I play MCC probably once or twice a week with some friends. The ones that I watch the Halo show with. Infinite, not too much. I'd hate to say it, but I was working on this last video so much I haven't been gaming that much. I know it's shameful to even admit, but outside of Catherine and Overwatch 2, I just haven't played that many games. I still haven't even beaten Elden Ring. I beat the gold boss dude. It's at the top. Like you have to walk on a tree. God, I already forgot his name. One of like I'm probably like 50 hours into the game. The first Elden Lord. Yeah, let's say that. I beat him, and then I went back to work on the video. So, yeah, I'm already behind on the games I've been playing, which is fucking insane to me. Cause like Iron Pineapple, I saw he put up a video where he beats or he tries to beat Elden Ring. I don't know. I don't know if he did. Completely over encumbered. He beat the whole game overweight. The whole time. He was literally like McDonald'sing Elden Ring. And he's like on his fucking 4th playthrough, and I still haven't beaten it once. I think he also did a passive run. Like, how the fuck? There are people that have beaten the game without playing the game multiple times, and I haven't even beaten the game playing the game. I have intelligence build. I'm spamming the glint blades, the magic swords. Important question: soup or stew? Soup. Stew is just, eh. Aren't stews like, I guess I can make a vegetable stew, but I don't generally eat meat. And stews are usually more meat based. I have a slow cooker though, so I could make stew. Orange opinion, I will eat it. It's not that I don't like stew. I think I had a burger like 2 weeks ago. I just haven't looked up recipes is all. The iDoser thing, it's out here. Saint, I don't know what the iDoser thing you're referring to is, but I agree that there's a lot about music that can be studied and talked about that doesn't really get relayed to a lot of people unless you're specifically looking for it or you're in education for music. I'm not in education for it. I just listen to music. I love when I learn stuff about that though. Anything else? I mean, I still play D&D every week if that counts as a video game, but yeah, other than that, haven't been playing much. What's my favorite meal slash type of meal? I made gnocchi recently, like little potato clumps with some like Tabasco sauce inside of them. I really like that. That's my current favorite new meal. Trying to come up with fun ways to make potatoes. My go-to is still the tomato avocado burger, the tomato basil avocado plant burger. Never does me wrong. I get a little bored of it sometimes, but then I just substitute the tomato basil for like black bean, and replace the avocado with like an egg. But yeah, those are my go-tos, I'd say. Favorite type of meal is just minimal cleanup, and I can make it in 15 minutes. That's my kind of meal. I like cooking, but I don't like dedicating my day to cooking. You can put Tabasco. Maybe it wasn't Tabasco, but some sort of sauce with the gnocchi. What class race? I play a grung named Coin, who's this little frogman, a monk. I feel like I need to sing the praises because no one fucking talks about grungs or monks, because monks are like the weakest DN. People say it's the weakest, or kind of one of. Monk is kind of a tricky thing to play, due to a limitation of options. They're like rogues and stuff can step away, like they can attack and then get away without getting hit, without provoking opportunity attack. The way monks work is you can't really escape opportunity attack, at least at low levels. Which means if you aggro, you can't get out of there. But monks have to get up close. The cool thing about grungs is they can walk on walls. They can climb on walls. They can jump 25 feet long or 15 feet high. They have really insane movement. Grungs, their body is made of poison, so every time you hit them, they got to take a con save. I could go deep into it, but basically, grung works really well with monk in a way I didn't expect. The fun things for me are kind of working around the limitations. So the problems I'm encountering are, one, the way poison works, you hit someone, if you touch skin, they take a constitution save. If they get under a 12, they're poisoned. But after a certain level, everyone is rolling above 12, so you're never hitting your poisons. So I'm specking into, I don't remember what type of monk it is, like the healing, hand of harm, hand of healing monk. The way I'm playing monk, at level 6, I think, I can spend a key point to always poison no matter what. No con save. So that's just one example of a workaround, where it's like, I can always poison them, and one of the downsides is completely negated. I know I'm going on a little tangent, but I really like D&D. I don't know much about it, but can't your character perma-die? Yeah, it depends on how your DM plays it. If your DM is giving you a super hard game, then yeah, you can perma-die. I almost lost an arm last session. Way of Mercy is the monk type. Yep. Yeah, so we were trying to disarm traps, and all of the traps were setting off with poison. And the thing about grungs is they can't be poisoned generally. So my guy's like, I'm gonna go up and hit them and they're gonna open. So he goes to open, I go to open a chest, and a fucking sword swings out of it at my hand. And my DM tells me, alright, roll to lose an arm. If you get under like a 10 or 15 or something, you're gonna have one arm. And I don't know what fucking favor I did the universe, but I rolled a 23. Like, I almost natted. So I didn't lose my arm. But I don't know if my DM would permadeath me if I actually pushed him. But yeah, certain DMs will punish you hard. And just to remind you, I'm playing a grung. I need my arm to climb walls and to punch. And without an arm, that would basically be permadeath for me. Is that the voice I do? Yeah, that's the voice I do when I play my character Coin. It's really annoying, but it's by design, because he's kind of an asshole. He's the little asshole party pet that's all snarky. Because my last character was really nice and I wanted to flip-flop. You have a cool extra tongue? Nope. Funny that grungs actually don't have a prehensile tongue, so they can't do the cool tongue extend. They just have a normal ass tongue, but they do have sharp teeth. It's a toad? I guess technically it's genetically closer to a toad than it is a frog, but it's in the ballpark. Who would win a fight, a level 5 paladin or a level 5 artificer? There's probably a lot of context to that. I don't know enough about D&D to give you a raw answer. Does the artificer like have a lot of shit to melt down and turn into weapons? Is the paladin well attuned to their god or whatever of choice? Or is this just a flat numbers game? Because I would guess a paladin, if it gets close to an artificer, could probably beat the shit out of them. But it depends how much preparation the artificer has, probably. I don't know shit about artificers, so I couldn't tell you. I had trouble with paywall, but I'm back to being a proud FUNKe sub. Okay, I'm not buying Taco Bell. I thank you for resubbing, and I hear you. I hear you. I got into D&D because my friend invited me to a campaign, and it just kind of avalanched from there. It snowballed. I had a lot of fun in that campaign, so I went into another one. That's about it. Actually, I went to the bookstore yesterday because I finally had the free time because the video was out, and I'm proud of it. I don't think it's nerdy. I got a book. I didn't know what book I wanted to get, so I asked myself, what kind of book would my D&D character read? The last book I read was Tao Te Ching, which is about Taoism. I read that because my D&D character is based off of a Taoist story. This time, I went and got Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which is a fictional book about, if you know Chang'e, it spells like change, but it's a Chinese moon goddess. It's about this lady who lives on the moon, and according to the spine, it's about like her overcoming these challenges to meet her love. It's like a romantic voyage. I thought my D&D character would read it because he's kind of a weeaboo for the moon, and he also, I think, wants to become immortal if he can. So this book is about a moon goddess who is immortal. So I thought, perfect, I'll read it. The other book I got was Junji Ito apparently made a manga about his real-life cat. Junji Ito, the horror manga who makes Lovecraftian, like, body gore, made one just about living with a cat, and he draws his cat in really cursed ways. Just for example, one at like the first page when you open the book looks like this. And the text on screen reads, "Anyone would agree this cat has a cursed face." Would you agree? I mean, everyone agrees. So would you agree? I got it because I like Junji Ito, because I have all of his other books, so it's just for the collection, and also just because I like cats. I like Junji Ito. I got one other book, but I don't need to read it. I got the first volume of Full Metal Alchemist.
Would you stream D&D?
Would I stream it? Yeah, I mean, in theory, I would. I wouldn't stream my current one because I don't know. That would be weird for the people I'm playing with to put them on the spot like that. Technically, my DM streams it, but I just haven't shared it because I don't want to weird out my party by having people watch them. Or random people watch them. Yeah, the other book I got at the store was the first volume of Full Metal Alchemist. Not because I haven't read it, but because I read it in a library years ago and I never supported the release, so I got one just so I can throw it on my shelf and say that I gave them money. I learned apparently there are light novels of Full Metal Alchemist of Winfrey, that's her name, and another story that weren't written by what's her name, Hiromu Arakawa, but she helped on them, and no one knows if they're canon. They're like they're semi-canon, which like she helped cut like lock in some details, but I didn't get those because I felt like if it's not canon, I don't care, and also I don't know. I feel like I don't need any more Full Metal Alchemist, and that was my Barnes and Noble grab. But but back to the D&D thing. Yeah, I think like in the future, if there was ever a situation where I could stream D&D, where I was playing it with people that stream it, yeah, I totally would. How do I find it easy to speak? It helps when you just have a scrolling page of other people asking stuff. If I'm sitting here in silence, it's not easy for me. Uh, I just I go long spans of time without talking. It's I tend to like kind of unleash it when I talk. Uh, like if I was streaming every day, I wouldn't be this talkative. But I haven't streamed in 20 days, so there's a lot for me to just randomly spitfire. Uh, I just made a video, so it's really easy for me to talk about that. For me, it's mostly just knowing what to talk about and how to talk about it confidently. I found if I try to talk just for the sake of like, well, I gotta speak, I say nothing of substance, or I get lost in my own words. So and I'm always trying to improve on it. I just try to be really involved with whatever I talk about. I try to be passionate about it. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm upfront about it. Also, I'm just talking to people more in general. I think a few years ago, I would go very long spans of time not talking to anyone, wouldn't message people, wouldn't get in a call, wouldn't even look at people's faces. But recently, I'm talking to people every night. I have relationships with people where I'm very actively speaking, and I'm active enough online, making videos and stuff that I have stuff to talk about. So it's always a process, I guess. You just have to find your comfort space. And it's okay like to get so passionate you just talk and you're like, "Oh man, I sounded like an ass." I think it's as long as like you kind of learn from it. If you ever feel like I'm talking too much or I'm not saying enough, doesn't mean like you shouldn't talk. Everyone has a voice, but you can be mindful of like what you're talking about. Like if I want to talk about something, I try to research it, I guess, or I try to learn about it. Do I watch people play D&D? Not really, but that's how I got into D&D because I was watching a campaign that like just a streamer campaign I was watching like a few years ago that made me want to play D&D. I don't really watch it now. I know Star makes the Myriad, and occasionally I eyeball that because I think it's cool. But I don't. I haven't followed it episode by episode. Barnes and Noble always has some kind of grab. My problem is when I go to Barnes and Noble, I just walk to the manga section and I try to eyeball it. But now that I've gotten every Junji Ito book, there's nothing there for me. I I was so desperate that I picked up a novel. I didn't buy it, but I picked up and looked at Chainsaw Man. And here's my opinion on Chainsaw Man. If you like it, that's fine, because it's got some cool action. I think Chainsaw Man is puberty bait. That's what it felt like to me. I read it and thought, man, if I was 15 and fucking horny all the time and really wanted to touch a titty, I would love this. But for me now, it feels like I don't want to open a manga and watch a fucking 15-year-old touch a titty of another 15-year-old. I don't want to see that. So I just can't read Chainsaw Man. Should check out Fire Punch. I don't know what age they are, but they fucking teenagers. And I know that, like, it's a self-aware plot. I'm not trying to riff on it as if it's bad. I'm just explaining why I don't read it. It does seem cool. D&D has rules like Bible level. Yeah, but cool DMs aren't always rule lawyers. My DM said he says rule of cool, which is if you do something that's a little weird or like out of the book, but it sounds cool and it's logical, then you can do it. So I don't know what a great example is, but sometimes like if you're doing something that kind of seems like two actions, but you can logic it as if it's one action, you can kind of justify it. Like I think at one point one of my party members was like dying. He was death saving on a bed. And so I pulled a potion out of my bag and poured it into his mouth. That's my action. And I think I used a bonus action earlier. But then I realized I had to pull him off the bed, but I couldn't because I'm a grung and I would poison him if I touched him. So what I decided was I was gonna pull out gloves at the same time I pulled out the potion. Now, rules wise, it's a little iffy to go back and say I pulled out two items in an action, and I put the gloves on, and I poured a potion in his mouth. But my D&D ruled, all right, it's logical. You pulled out two things and kind of did them at the same time. That's an example where rules aren't all strict in D&D. It's a benign example, but don't let D&D rules dissuade you, because a good party will educate you while you're playing. All of the time, I have to ask my DM, like, what does it mean I'm blinded? What do you mean how does a command work? Like, I can't do anything? A good party will play through it. Barnes & Noble sells a manga called Dick Fight Island. I would have gotten it. I didn't know that. I don't know. I get asked this a few times. If you want to play D&D, sometimes you just got to search for it. Find a DM that's looking for games. You can pay to be in certain campaigns. You could find friends that are into D&D. You could learn to DM yourself. But if you're into games, I recommend it. Like the most fun game I've ever played, honestly. Most memorable, most personable. Like I remember every session of D&D I play. So I do probably have to call my stream by 10 o'clock. It's 9:15 here. So I don't know if I am gonna like fully commit to playing a game. But I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit longer and feel it out before I have to head off. But I will say I'll probably have something up on FUNKe later this week. Next video I'm making, I think, is going to be a smaller one, something akin to like the movement, like the more movement shooters thing. And I posted this on my Patreon. I don't have a timeline on it or anything, but a lot of my friends who do kind of the stuff I do, right? Animation, talk about media. A lot of them do a pretty smart thing, which is where they outsource the animation parts and they do the editing and the writing and all that, but they work with other people to get the animation. By far the longest, most time-consuming part of a video for me is animating. It's cathartic, it's fun, it's creative, but it's a fucking time sink. So I expect in some of my future videos, I don't know immediately when, maybe the video after the next one, I'm going to start working with animators that I respect, that I like, or that are just available to me, and try to see how the collaborative route for making videos will be. So hopefully that will let the videos come out faster because I don't have to do all of the work myself. There's still a lot of like training I have to do. Yeah, I'm gonna be paying them. I want if someone's working on my video, I want it to make it worth their time. So it's full commission. I'm not just getting free labor. But there's a lot of logistics. I have to figure out the rates. I have to find out availabilities, and I have to, because the Bomby model has very specific guidelines that I use for animating it, but I know all of them, so I'm probably gonna have to throw together like an animation bible for this shit, just so people like know when the head turns, you have to rotate the hat so it isn't centered on the head. The way like turning the hands into spheres is, the way the smear frames on the clothing works. There's just a lot involved with getting people prepared to do that, but I want to make sure there's a bar of quality and consistency with it. So you can expect later this year, maybe 2 months, maybe more, maybe less, probably some bigger videos, but with a bigger production, I guess. That's my plan for the channel right now. But again, I'm still going to be doing a lot of mostly just me videos. Also, people still ask me, yeah, I still use Source Filmmaker. I fucking shouldn't. I want to learn Blender. I have a friend that actually knows how to move SFM assets into Blender, which would be really valuable for me because I like using workshop assets. I like just using video game assets. But it would be so much easier if I had a workspace where I could make 3D models, where it's way less buggy, where I have way more control of the lighting and stuff. I don't know if that'll happen in anytime soon, but yeah, for the foreseeable future, I'm still using Source Filmmaker. Theatrics. There was a really interesting read. I wish I could see the full thing. The Cuphead show came out, and one of the animators posted pages from the Bible, the animator's Bible of the characters. So the way that their cups look, their cup heads look from certain angles, the way the milk in their head spills when they turn their heads. I love reading stuff like that. When I kind of peek into the mindset of the animators of stuff, of like, these are the do's and don'ts of these characters. I love reading stuff like that. Unfortunately, they didn't release the full animator's Bible for that Cuphead show. I hope they do someday. I'm surprised like more studios don't do it. I would like buy those books physical if I could. That's probably something I'll have to do, is why I bring it up. But yeah, if you're ever like into animation or anything, would recommend going down those kinds of rabbit holes of uh the rules of animating certain shows. You should listen to the album Little Dominique's Nosebleed. Okay. You say concept album. I can't infer much about the album itself, but I'm more than happy to listen to it. I'm all through any comments, any chat comments or video comments recommending albums, and I'm trying to build up a list of albums I should listen to. So I appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Dazdan. Yeah, I honestly I think the most heartwarming comments for me, like on my videos, is hearing from people that like saw me in the TF2 era, and they're just like, "This is not what I thought you'd be doing." But it makes me happy when kind of people cross circles like that. I know it's not always in the cards. I know people's tastes change. My taste certainly changed for videos, but I don't know. I'm happy that it's still. Uh, I'm happy that like the interests overlap, of like someone who liked TF2 might also get a kick out of talking about VR or other movement shooters or anything. And I am happy that this video, despite not being about games, no one seemed more or less dissuaded from it. I was worried that people would be like, I don't really care about the subject, but I look forward to like video game stuff. And you know, I shouldn't put stock into that, and I try not to. But deep down, I'm happy that it lands with people because I want to make more non-gaming stuff. Gaming's still what I want to make, but I don't know. This was a nice little experiment for me. I think it succeeded. I learned some stuff that I need to improve on, and I reaffirmed some stuff that I wanted to try. And I will say, like, there's still plenty about TF2 that I love that I think will easily bleed into a script now and then in the future. But I imagine most of us are in the same boat of just love the game, keeping an eye on it. Nothing spewing out of my mouth right now. I know that there are some people that still would like seeing TF2 videos. That's not something I have a hard rule against. It's just not something I planned. But I don't know. I'm a very nostalgic person. It's hard for me to pull my emotional connections to things. I'm still very emotionally connected to the community I built off that game, the game itself, and so it's definitely still floats in my mind. I've been going back and rewatching Uncle Dane videos recently. That's my free time. I'm glad to hear it, Shield. Yeah, I think that's the best scenario for like a video. Not even my video. If I like, I feel good if it sparks a curiosity with someone. So I'm happy if that did. Hawaii Part 2 is a concept album. I talked about it a bit earlier in this stream. So if you want to check the VOD later, it should pop up because I show the album art. But yeah, it's a concept album. I don't know what the fuck the concept is, but it's a concept. Military equipment. Oh, that's cool. Like handheld equipment, like technologies or like vehicle or just any sort of military stuff. Or do you mean like MREs? It's cool either way though. Yeah, I don't know if I have any physical collections of things. That would be cool though. I definitely have shelves I need to fill. I was never really a video game collector. I have old Wii U stuff and Switch games, but I tend to just get digital. Maybe the closest thing I have to a collection besides a couple of books. Mm, I mean, like, whenever I go to a concert or see a band, I'll buy like a t-shirt or a poster. But yeah, I don't, not much else. I got rid of all my Arizona iced tea cans like a decade ago. Maybe I need a replacement. I don't have like, I have a small collection of amiibos, I guess. I have a Zero Suit Samus, a Richter, the Link's Awakening Link. I have a custom one of the turtleneck Wind Waker Link still. I need to go back to the person who made my custom amiibo. Like years ago I had somebody, I'll show it. It like broke once, but I glued it back. It's a Wind Waker link. It's too good. I had someone make that back when that was my avatar, and I've been meaning. I still have their name. I don't know if they're still making custom amiibos, but I want to reach out to them and get them to make a Bomby one. Just like send them the model. I don't know if that would be pretty hard because there's not like I think they paint and remodel existing amiibos, so I don't know how they'd make it. Maybe I could get it 3D printed. But either way, yeah, that's probably my favorite little amiibo I have. Oh yeah, I also have the Tuxedo Mario one. I animated this screen, yeah. I mean, it's not that animated. There's just a looping little like sleep animation in it. But yeah, I didn't like make the space model. I don't have the name. Somebody made like a space map in Source Filmmaker, and I'm just using that. Bagic, great name. I'm not starting or ending right now. I'm just talking. I'll probably be done in the next 15 to 20 minutes. But no, I'm not going anywhere right now. You should check out the band Thank You Scientist if you've never heard of them. They're a prog rock group. Okay. And Thank You Scientist. For once I have Spotify open while I'm doing this so I can actually like bookmark the bands when I get recommendations. Do you have like an album you'd recommend? Because they got a couple. Stranger Heads apparently pretty popular, so I guess I'll save that. Are there YouTubers you'd want to collaborate with? I don't like not plan to, but I have a lot of friend creators that I would happily do some stuff with if the opportunity comes up. But like I don't it would have to be sort of organic. I don't know if I would just arbitrarily do a crossover for the sake of. Like I don't think I would ever collaborate with him because I don't know him. That's not really how either of our content works. But my favorite YouTuber, period, my GOAT, is Captain Christian. And I think if you like my videos, you 100% should go watch Captain Christian. Really fantastic media essayist. I wouldn't collab with him, but I don't know. I'd love to have a conversation with him at some point. But yeah, if I had to like say like my friends Noodle, uh, Leon Massey, uh, Punk Duck, a lot of my buddies. Lazy Purple. I mean, I already have collabed with Lazy Purple a few times technically, but yeah, anyone I know, Salty Fish maybe. Well, I guess he does stream stuff, but I don't know. if I if I can ever get him to invite me to play Overwatch or something, yeah, I'd do it. I don't have a say in that, so but I mean, I'm good friends with them. I like PST. If they ever ask, I'll say yeah, but I don't. It's not my call. Funk, I've been watching your channel for 2 years, and the witty joke in your VR mechanics was kind of weird to see since I've been friends with Sock and Nate, the people who made the mod originally. Oh, really? You know witty? It's nothing personal to them. It was just a witty joke. I thought it was so fast most people might not even see it. And to me, that was more of a metal bending joke, or I guess earth bending joke, than it was uh, a witty joke. Because it has like the little avatar seismic sense. But yeah, well, tell him I say thanks for making a bomb character with a jacket. I really appreciate it. It's been great for me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I think it's very cool. The recent one, Terraformer. Recent. That's 2019. I don't know if I'd call that recent. They have 2 other albums since then. Actually, no, one. I misread. Okay, I'll bookmark Terraformer and listen to it. Thank you for the subs. Again, I miss a lot of them, but thank you. Also, I got 5 gifted earlier by Magic Boss. Magic Boss. Thank you. I'm scrolling up just in case I missed some messages. The Chow Garden? God, why in the fuck are they gonna do another Chow Garden? They could make a whole game about the Chow Garden. It doesn't even have to be Sonic and I'd play it. I'm so mad every time someone brings it up. Because I don't get it. Funk, you should listen to Invitation to Hers or Songs of Hers. I love Hers. Didn't they die? I learned this recently. The band members of Hers, I think like a car crash happened or something. I fucking hurt to learn that because they had some great music. Songs of Hers, Invitation to Hers. I love both of those. Yeah, and they passed away. Devastating, but I still recommend their music because it still holds up. It wasn't recently. It's some time ago, but yeah. We're playing Rain World? Rain World? Did you mean Rim World? Because the answer is no to both. The Stanley Parable came out, the Ultra Deluxe Edition. I thought about streaming that, but I thought it would be hard for me to, like, do chat stuff and also pay attention to that. Please don't stream it. You don't you know you don't have to watch it if I play it. Like, you can just skip that stream. I mean, I'm not gonna stream it tonight, so you don't have to worry, but no, I mean, I liked Stanley Parable. I think Ultra Deluxe looks really fun. And I have a few reasons I'd want to play it outside of just wanting to play it. So maybe this week. Again, when I get a video out, my schedule frees up a bit. So you can expect me on Tuesdays and Fridays for now. That'll probably stop in 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, for this next month, I will still be streaming twice a week as much as I can. And I'll let you know if that ever changes. American Idiot, you're right. I totally forgot to mention that. American Idiot by Green Day is kind of a political activism. Oh, maybe not activism. A politically charged concept album. I love it. I love Green Day. Well, I love parts of Green Day. And I just didn't think of it. I just didn't think about American Idiot. American Idiot has a Broadway show, doesn't it? Like, they've turned American Idiot into a story, a literal narrative with characters, and they sing the American Idiot songs on stage. A rock opera. Yes, that's a good word. The right word. I don't think it's still running, but I'd love to have seen it or see it. I learned recently that I live near a symposium or an opera house or whatever. There's an Atlanta, well, I don't live near it, but there's an Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. And they have an orchestra, like, within 45 minutes of me. And I'm looking for a chance to go there. Because I just want to see... I've been on, like, an orchestra kick. I saw a video of Ben Folds from Ben Folds 5. Also just Ben Folds. He's a musician. He sat down with a full orchestra in front of, like, an audience, and he wrote a song with the orchestra in 10 minutes. And it was fucking fascinating. He would come up with a part for a part of the orchestra. They'd practice it, and then they'd make the song in real time. Hell, I'll show you a part of it if I can find somewhere to jump to. This is what, like, put me on a little orchestra kick. I'm not going to play the full thing, but Ben Folds composes a song live for orchestra in only 10 minutes. So this is Ben Folds. This is, I guess, host.
I mean, it's interesting.
I don't know if he's the composer. But he sits down at a piano and just writes each part of the orchestra. Also, someone from the audience hands him a pamphlet, and they have to use that pamphlet for lyrics, which is what he's singing. So he's just coming up with the shell of the song right now.
These new spaces are all designed.
Ben Folds is a great musician, by the way. Highly recommend his own stuff.
Spaces are all designed.
On one hand, I want to show you the end product, but I also think if this interests you, you should just go watch it yourself so you can see the end product. But I'll jump around just so you can see, like, they're practicing specific parts, and he'll call out to them and say, like, go a little higher, go a little lower.
Hey, can let me hear that with the cellos for a moment? 3, 4.
And this is all over the course of 10 minutes. And they play a full song, essentially, at the end of it. So, again, Ben Folds composes a song live for orchestra in only 10 minutes. If that interests you, fascinating video. It's really fun. I watched that, and now I want to go to an orchestra near me. So, it worked. Also, fun fact, after OK Human came out, Weezer did an orchestral show where they played a bunch of their old songs and new songs with a full orchestra. They played I think they played something from Blue Album, something from Pinkerton, a couple other songs. It was a great show. I bought a ticket to it. It's probably on YouTube too. I'll let you know in the future how the local orchestra is. Here is it happened earlier. Damn, it's been like a year. But yeah, this was the OK Computer Orchestra they did. It's a bit smaller, but
Holy cow, I think I've got one here.
it's cool.
Now just what am I supposed to do?
I'm not gonna play the full thing, but I want to hear like the string section and stuff. So, full show's like an hour long, I think. You can probably find it on YouTube, but maybe not, because like it was a one-time show and they're trying to lock down and get rid of the videos, but it's still cool. What's interesting is Rivers said he wanted to do that with all of Pinkerton, but then they did one song and now he's never talked about it again. So we're probably not getting that, but it was neat to hear at least one rendition. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that comes to mind, but nah, that's about it for my current musical kick. No, Ben Folds is just a fucking like genius in general. He's a no, he's just a great musician. I'm trying to think of like songs he's made that people might recognize. Ben Folds being the guy from the earlier video. What is Ben Folds 5? What notable songs have they made? Brick? I mean, they made Brick, I guess. It's he's a talented pianist. Other than that, I'm listening to smooth jazz. I've learned that there is a local station to me, or a Georgia station, 100.1, and they play like fucking phenomenal smooth jazz, but only after 9 p.m. And I like listening to it because I find good songs, but I have to either get in a car at night and listen to it, or I don't know, get a fucking AM radio, which is a shame. I wish they played it earlier, and I don't I don't leave the house that much, so I don't have a chance to listen to it. But if you're ever in the fucking southeast United States after 9 p.m. and you need a good station to listen to, 100.1. Pretty good. No, not 101.1, 100.1. Don't some radio station play on their website? Maybe. I haven't actually looked if they have like a website. 100.1 Atlanta Listen. WJZA Smooth Jazz. Let's see if I can listen live, it says on their website. I'm looking. I can listen to them. Oh my god. I don't have to get in my car at 11 p.m. anymore. This is, I think, Cascade by Ron King. Alright, I'm gonna get my VOD muted. That's cool. Alright, now I can actually... I would have been listening to that while I worked on the video if I knew I could do that through their website. Ugh. Got a big message earlier. An album can't be a concept album if the stories aren't connected. There's this one that came to mind, How to Be a Human Being by Glass Animals, and they all follow a concept, but the stories aren't connected. Well, at least you don't watch the music videos, the characters are in the same setting and show up around, but no, it just means the concept is bigger than one story. That doesn't mean there's not a concept, because the concept could be the story of 10 different people and each one is a different song. That's still a concept. It's just a bit more abstract than one story. There's probably threads that connect all of those stories in some way, but I haven't listened to it, so I couldn't tell you what they are. Have I tried listening to WFMU? I don't know that. No, I haven't. But maybe I will now, since I'd learned I can listen to the radio on a computer. God damn, we're in the future. We live in the future, everybody. Does Funk have a doppelganger named Groove? Groovy. That would be pretty good, actually. No. During Halloween, I think I become punky, but... No, I don't have... There's no Groovy. Hmm. How many smacks would you need to cook a piano before you ask that's not a typo? Like cook? Do you mean like actually like boil a piano into a soup? Or are you using slang? I don't know what you're saying. Alright. I'm getting kind of down to the wire on my time here, so I'm gonna round back and see if there's anything like I forgot to mention earlier about like the video or anything. I'd show you like the SFM file with like cool I don't know, like background gags and stuff, but you can see them in the video, and I don't want to spoil that anyways. Just know like if there's ever a shelf in a shot of my video, I probably tried to put something funny on it. And there's multiple shelves in it. Actually, there's one thing I could show. It's not big, but when I show the crime boards, there's two of them you can't see, but I actually did kind of make them. I have to find them in my cesspool of a desktop, because I don't remember where I keep half my files when I'm working. You can see one of them, which is the Van Occupanther board. It's gonna take a second because the folder is so big, my Windows has to actually use a loading bar before I can see the files. That's how many fucking PNGs and MP3s are used throughout the video. It's still going. I don't think I'm gonna be able to show you the photos. Oh, god damn it, this folder is all MP3s. It's not even... It's the wrong folder, fuck! God, it's in another folder that's too big to be opened, I bet. Well, just know there's a crime board with Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum and In the Airplane Over the Sea. Two other sort of concept albums. I found one of them for some reason, but it's the one that you can see in the video, which is the crime board of Van Occupanther. I wanted to talk about this album in the video, but there's just not enough in the album. Oh, I found another one. This is In the Airplane Over the Sea. So this album is all about Anne Frank. Like the whole thing is about Anne Frank's life, about things Jeff Mangum read in her diary. He wants to have a time machine and go back to meet her. He sings about a boy that Anne Frank writes about. Anne Frank dreamt about a boy that was staying in the attic with them, and she was kind of fantasizing about like just liking this boy. So one song is about him, that's Two-Headed Boy. A lot of the songs, even if they're not directly about Anne Frank, it kind of parallels her. It's literally an album about Anne Frank. And the Van Occupanther one, you can pause and read it in the video. But I love this album. I fucking I can't recommend it enough. If you like car seat headrest or something, you'll probably love this artsy shit. Every song sings about wanting to go home, about wanting to be home, about not knowing what home is. There's a lot of imagery about the sea and water and the ocean, about walking into the sea, but there's not a real concept. It's just very abstract, and it has recurring, like, nouns, but that's about it. Great album. It's like 20% concept. Also, I just got another gifted sub from Bajic Baus. Thank you. Thank you very much. Genuinely, I know that gifting subs is like a whole nother extension of your finances for me. Thank you. And the other board was Marvin's Marvel, but there's really not that much on it, to be honest. I already showed it earlier in the video, in the stream. This is the other one that shows up. If you didn't get a good look at it during the video, this one is a bit more in the center, but this is the King Gizzard board. I was really proud of this one. And here is the Tally Hall one, although it's incomplete. I don't show the full thing. But there's only one important part here that you need to see, really. And that is all the crime boards that I show, I think. I'm looking through my files just to show some cool, weird stuff. But I think that's it. Just know that I've made sure like every second of the video kind of had something, some kind of hidden part in it, even if it's just a dumb little joke. But I don't know. I'm really proud of it. You don't have to watch it. But yeah, next video will probably be about video games. We'll see. I have a couple like on the shelf that I was already planning to make that I expect to come out faster. Don't know what faster is. Maybe it's 3 weeks, maybe it's 2, maybe it's a month. But yeah. I think I might be getting ready to end stream. Cause I'm like I'm all out of behind the scene stuff to show. Thanks for the sub, Old Jones. Yeah. So I guess thank you again for lurking here, subbing if you did, chatting if you did, anything at all. Thanks. I know uh, you only get a few chances to interact with other people online, and I'm glad you chose one here. Yeah, so I will definitely be streaming this coming Tuesday. There might be an earlier one, maybe tomorrow or Sunday, but it'll be unscheduled. If it happens, I'll post in the Discord events so you know that it's happening. But in general, my schedule is Tuesday and Friday at 7 ET. So I'll have planned stuff then. I think that's it. I have a Twitter if you want to know updates on videos, on streams. I forgot to tweet that I was live. Oh well. And if you want to hear my funny sick jokes that I come up with, you guys, I tweeted this earlier. I've never seen a
Can you
zombie.
summon the boar stampede one more time?
I've never seen a piece of zombie media where the zombie's just eating normal food, like pizza or a hoagie they found in the trash. Every single zombie I've ever seen wants brains or they're eating a corpse, but I've never seen a zombie just eating food. And I was playing RE6, and that it like dawned on me. And I think people gave a couple examples. There's a Space Dandy episode where it happens. But maybe like Garden Warfare or something, they eat like a corpse sandwich with bread. But yeah, that's just so weird to me. And I wanted to share that. Conjure boar. I mean, I can't make everyone conjure boar, but someone else did it, so I'll post a boar. If I can find the fucking boar emote. I'm using like a chat thing, so it won't let me just copy the boar. There's my boar. There's my bobber. Alright. See you next stream. Thank you again for anything. Live long and well. I hope you find life to be acceptable and putting you in a good state. Live long and well. I will stream again soon. And thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.